Hello, everyone, and welcome to Oracle Hour. My name is Sabrina Rising. I'm a spiritual mentor and a psychic medium. For those of you that don't know me, if you're new here, I do a weekly show here on my YouTube channel every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. I usually address the energy of the collective. I talk a little bit about spirituality, some things that we might be struggling with as humans, what's going on in the current day, what I'm going through that might be of use to you as well. And then we dive in and I take live questions from participants. So if you're new here and you want to ask questions, feel free, don't be shy to type your questions in the comment sections. We answer questions on a first come, first served basis. For those of you watching us on Instagram, making sure that you can see us live here, we are taking questions on YouTube. You can also ask questions on Facebook as well. So you can catch us in 3 places. YouTube is I think the easiest way to post your questions in the comment section. And as I mentioned, I have a moderator that works with me here, my trusted friend Lacey. She will be posting your questions as they come through. If you are someone who is desiring connection to a loved one that has crossed over, if you're looking for a mediumship connection, if you're struggling with grief or you feel incomplete and you just want a message from your loved ones, sometimes that's present. So if your question is up in the chat and I'm addressing you directly, if you have someone here, if I can feel the presence of someone here that has a message for you, I will offer that message. For those of you that have a desire to connect with a specific person, or this is what you really want, you want to talk to your father, or you want to talk to your spouse or your loved one that has crossed over, then I recommend registering for my upcoming live mediumship demonstration. It is a different format. It is a Zoom event where we can see each other, we can interact, and we can have a whole dialogue with your loved one or loved ones. There can be more than one, there usually are, that have crossed over, that have messages for you. It's a much more engaging format, and it honors the mediumship work I find in my personal experience. So feel free to register for that event. The link is here. Here we go. Thanks, Lacey. That's the link to register for the live mediumship demonstration. It's March 1st, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. This one is a special 2-hour event. This is with a very specific focus. We're focusing on forgiveness. So if you have someone that is in the spirit realm that you're incomplete with, can be a loved one that you feel has wronged you, or that you have a lot of bitterness or resentment towards, and you've had difficulty forgiving in your life, this is the event for you. We're going to spend 2 hours together. We're going to connect with your loved ones. There'll also be a worksheet. So we'll do some inner work so that we can bring you into that place of forgiveness so that you can have peace in your heart. This is my deepest desire for all beings everywhere. And mediumship is a very powerful tool to help accomplish that. So I'm just going to bring the microphone a little bit closer to me so you can hear me better. So that's the link to register for the mediumship demonstration. Okay, so for tonight, first of all, hi, everybody. It's so nice to see all of you here tonight. We're going to get to questions in a moment. I just want to take a minute to just address the energy in the collective. Is anybody feeling like a little extra sensitive these days, like hypersensitive? We might be feeling like, I felt this personally over the last week, like kind of feeling like an open wound, like everything sort of hits a little bit deeper, or you feel that, you might feel more easily triggered, or you're second guessing, or you're doubting yourself. The collective is going through a very deep recalibration period right now. That means that, I've talked about this in previous weeks, we're in a universal year 9. So that means that there's a lot of death and transformation. Okay. And this is not for the faint of heart. It's not an easy process. It requires a lot of letting go, a lot of deep surrender, and deep trust. So for so many of us humans, when we feel like things are changing, and sometimes things are changing not out of choice, but because we feel like we're being forced to change, or we're being forced to let things go that no longer serve us, we resist this change, and this can create a lot of suffering. Okay. And the automatic response to all these changes can be to hurry up and find our grip, or to hurry up and start to solve problems, or to find our new footing in this new paradigm of change. And so if you find yourself having to let go of something and then quickly jumping to the next solution, or how am I going to fix this, or, how do I readjust to this new energy? I want you to slow down. Okay, so really slow down and honor your feelings. We're in a period of feeling right now. So when we're recalibrating, it's important to embrace our emotions as they come up. It's important to acknowledge ourselves for where we are, what our capacity is, to give ourselves permission to be human, and to really be gentle and soft with ourselves. Because right now, as we're recalibrating, it's kind of like there's all this cleansing that's happening. And as you're cleansing, you're not worried about, think about, when you're taking a shower, you're not worried about, hurrying up and getting dressed. You're just focusing on the cleansing process, right? And so there'll be time for that once the cleansing is over. In this current energy, we just want to focus on allowing ourselves to cleanse, to purge the things that no longer serve us. Those can be physical things, they can be thoughts, they can be behaviors, attitudes, just ways of operating, things that no longer serve us. Okay, so we're very much still in this energy. It's only February. Okay, I can't believe that it's only February. It feels like this year has already been 6 months long. So just give yourself time to slow down and be patient. You don't have to have everything figured out right here, right now. This is the ego tendency, is to hurry up and try to solve the problem, figure out the answer. That's part of why I'm here as an intuitive guide, is to guide you, to connect you to your own higher self, so you can have the answers you need in this moment, which is all we need to be concerned about, is the right here, right now. And as we learn to trust our own intuition, we learn to trust the guidance that we're receiving, we allow things to unfold organically, naturally, and then we start to develop some clarity. Okay, when we are triggered, and I talk about this all the time in my intuition classes, when we're in a reactive state, we don't have access to our intuition. It's not possible. Okay, so you have to work through your triggers, regulate your nervous system. This is the time, especially in this energy, to really nurture your nervous system, and just ground. Do some deep diaphragmatic breathing, ground, get present, get into your body, and just allow for the clarity to come. Once you're in that peaceful state, you can ask your questions, and that's when answers are revealed to you, not in the time that you need them, but in the time that you want them, but always in the time that you need them. And so we must accept that sometimes we just don't know, and it's okay to be in the not knowing, to be in quiet, equanimous observation of the unfolding of your life, so that you can trust the process and just trust that you're going to get the answers you need as you're moving through life. Okay, so this is my message for you tonight, is to trust, surrender, and breathe. It's all going to be okay. Everything you're going through right now, even if it doesn't feel like it, is happening for your highest and best good. It's serving you. You have a sincere heart's desire to manifest a certain life, to live a certain way, to feel a certain way, to have certain things, and the universe hears you. And the more you align with this deepest desire and trust this process and do the things as they come through, one day at a time, one step at a time, even as they come through, do the next right thing that allows you to become that much closer to your goal, that much closer to your way of operating, that much closer to your way of feeling, the more you accelerate this process of manifesting the life that you love. Okay, but in the meantime, just slow down and really feel your feelings and let yourself be exactly where you are. Okay, that is my message for you tonight. And with that said, hi everybody. Hi Jolie. Hi Sabrina. Nice to see you. Hi Rhonda. Hi Steffi. Oh my goodness. Hello Jessica. Jess is here tonight. Amazing. Okay, so Lacey, we'll take the first question. VEW. I'm going to call you View, just for the purpose of this conversation. View says, please, I have a serious situation at work which could cost me my job. I need to know the outcome. Okay. So I'm going to answer this question in 2 ways. So first of all, you're obviously in a panic state, and if it's very serious and it could cost you your job, there's a lot of reactive energy here. Notice how I just said that we're in a reactive state. You can't access your intuition. It's impossible to have clarity when you're triggered. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is to just take some deep belly breaths. Okay, you can do it right now while you're listening to me. And anybody watching, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, you can just, if you're in a reactive state, just do some big belly breathing. So breathe into the belly out, exhale, let the belly drop naturally. So in and out of the belly, do 3 or 4 of these big diaphragmatic breaths, and you're going to start to slow down your central nervous system. Okay. Um, I know it can feel like there's so much at stake, and this idea of pending doom is a conditioned response, okay? And so I want you to really ground yourself and remind yourself in that moment of breathing diaphragmatically that you're going to be okay no matter what happens. Okay, that's the first thing I want to say to you. Sometimes losing our job, as I just mentioned earlier, is the best thing that could possibly happen, even if it doesn't feel that way in the moment. Okay, but I want you to trust that whatever is unfolding is actually serving your highest and best good. Okay, it's just about learning to recontextualize your experience so that you can really embrace that lesson and trust that there's something better for you. Okay, now, because you asked me the question and you want an intuitive reading, which is why you're here, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to read your energy specifically. So, okay, so it's more than just you. There's like two or three people involved in whatever situation is going on at work. And it feels like there's some investigating, maybe human resources is involved or something like that, but there's feels like there's some digging for information that's happening. And if you can verify any of this, please do. Okay. Um, I feel like there's something that you need to take responsibility for. Okay. And when you do that, it's really going to help your cause. All right. So there's something that you're afraid to own. Maybe you might be afraid to say, whatever your part was in this circumstance, and I'll let you fill in the gaps. And once you do that, once you take responsibility for that part, it's going to win you some favor. Okay. I feel like there's a grace period here. Okay. I want to say to you though that I don't think it's a bad idea to not be working at this job anymore. I actually think it would be better for you if you found something else where you could sort of start fresh and start developing new dynamics and be, it feels like in this particular environment that you're in, there's this, uh, it's almost like a constant threat almost. So it feels unhealthy. It feels toxic. I'll just use that word. For now, I think if you really want to stay here and you really want the job, I think things are going to be okay. It's just a matter of you taking responsibility for that one thing that you're afraid to own. I don't know what that is, but that's what I feel when I tune into your energy. So I want you to get honest with yourself about how can I advocate for myself? How can I own my part in whatever is that has transpired so that I can come out on top? Okay. And at least come out looking like absolutely there is. Okay, good. So, and I don't know what you're confirming, but I'm assuming we're talking about the toxic situation and about there being a constant, okay, View says, okay, yes, you are so right. Okay, good. Look, it's very clear to me. You just need to swallow this fear you have of something bad happening. And first of all, fear, I just want to say this to you, and this is for everybody. Okay. So we don't just all of a sudden become afraid. All right. So we don't just all of a sudden become triggered. Right. Usually something happens in our lives that comes along and triggers us and basically pokes at a wound that's been there our whole lives. Okay. So this is an unconscious thing where you feel like something bad's going to happen, something's going to be taken from you, you're going to be punished, you're going to be wrongly accused or misunderstood. Okay. There, I just said that, right? So if you says, no, I was accused of something I didn't do. Good. So you're being wrongly accused. Okay, good. So here's the thing. This is part of what you're co-creating in your work environment. Okay. So I want you to just, advocate for yourself. And, perhaps it feels like there's something that you need to be responsible for, not the thing that happened, but maybe, I don't know, maybe you could approach a situation where you can be like, I acknowledge that I could have been more conscious of this, or I acknowledge that I could have done this or could have done that, and so on. So you need to advocate for yourself. And when you do that, you're going to be okay. Right. So I feel like you're going to be vindicated, but my original, guidance that I gave you still stands. I don't think this is a healthy environment for you. Okay. So I think that you need to, as you're really taking responsibility for your own process and just choosing yourself and deciding whether or not you can be in an environment where you feel attacked and you feel threatened. View says, okay, there was an investigation from HR started a week ago, still no answer from them. Okay, good. So this is what I said at the beginning. Feels like there's going to be an investigation. You're still in fear. I need you to hear me, okay? You're going to be okay. You just need to advocate for yourself, and you just need to take responsibility for your own, the quality of your own state, your own emotions. Don't go to work in a panic. Don't go to work, trying to scramble, trying to fix it, being in survival mode. Okay. I want you tonight, whenever we're done here, just to go off quietly, take some deep diaphragmatic breaths, regulate your nervous system, and really bring yourself into that place of peace. Put your hand on your heart and trust that all is well. You're going to be okay no matter what happens. Okay. And I also feel like the truth will come out, and your name is going to be cleared. Okay. You says, yes, you are so right. It has been a toxic place for a while now. Okay. You need to get out of here. That's my advice. Okay. So, I mean, you can stay. If you advocate for yourself, you will be cleared. Okay. And that's probably a good thing, because you want to leave on good terms. So you want the truth to come out. And I think it's very important for you specifically. The reason why this is happening to you in your life right now is because this is a life lesson. Okay. This is a karmic lesson for you to learn how to stand up for yourself and to advocate for yourself and to demand the truth. Okay. So you've been sort of in survival mode for quite some time, trying not to get in trouble, trying to do the right thing, trying to keep your head down, and this is not a way to live. Okay. So I think it's really important for you to take this opportunity to advocate for yourself, to demand for the truth, to, have your name cleared. That will, in and of itself, will be very healing for you. And then to move on from this organization. Okay. That's the work that needs to be done. You're welcome. Okay. But, I don't see this ending off as like you're being blamed and you're, branded and fired. And that's not the way it's going to go. But you need to do exactly what I say, which is take responsibility for regulating your nervous system, go to work, peaceful, clear, confident. I did nothing wrong. Here's what happened. Advocate for yourself, cooperate with HR, and then start looking for a new job. Okay. And come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Next question. Okay. Yes, ma'am. You are right on the spot. I will. I promise. Thank you. Okay, good. I give you your marching orders. Thank you for letting me channel for you. Okay, CC Monroe says, hi, Sabrina. My question is, what do you see in my path regarding my health, wellness, and finances? Oh, that's a big picture we're painting. Okay, so there's a lot there. It would help me if you were a bit more specific, but I can just channel what I feel, and then you can validate what resonates for you. Okay. Let me see, CC. For some reason, I feel like your wellness and finances are tied together. Okay. So I feel like we've talked before. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's something around wellness for you that is vocational. Okay. So I want you to, I don't know if you're considering a career in health and wellness, or if you're considering moving into this space or doing something that's more healing. But this is what I see for you. Okay. I feel like you've had to heal yourself of a lot of things. In fact, I feel like there's been a period of time where maybe even the medical community has sort of not been able to serve you fully and completely as deeply as you need to be served. And so you've had to sort of look for, and I can relate to this, myself and my own journey. You've had to sort of look for, ways to help yourself heal. Okay. And I think that, there's something to this. I think that there's a way for you to express what you've learned and share it with other people that's going to help you, not only career-wise, but also financially as well. And I feel like the more you come out of I think part of the issue, what's coming through as I'm talking to you, part of the issue with finances has been your health. And maybe that's how they're connected as well. Not being able to work full time, or not being able to have, the strength to really sit through a regular job, or to be able to dedicate yourself to something fully. So I feel like that's changing for you, So it's kind of like, the way I see it is, you're leading yourself out of suffering, and you've healed so many things. And now you can find a way to use this information to help other people. And perhaps that could be a source of income for you. Okay. There's a way that you can marry this now that you're in a better place. I feel like you have more energy. At least this is coming. It feels like it's imminent. So there's going to be an opportunity to make more money, whether it's something you create yourself, which I highly recommend that you do. And I also feel like there's some opportunity that shows up, perhaps something unexpected, like an invitation to join something, an invitation to be part of something that's going to be meaningful to you, but it's very much tied to your healing journey. Okay. Yeah. Do we have any confirmations? Okay. That's the message I have for you, Cece. I hope this was helpful. And if you want to come back and let me know how that unfolds, I'd love to hear from you. Good. Next question. Hi, Rhonda. Nice to see you here. Rhonda has a question. Are there any messages for me? Okay, let's see. Hmm. I know that, I just want to acknowledge that we've had some interactions around this. So I just want to say that this feels familiar, but it's coming through a little bit differently. I want to say that, the message is to forgive, right? So there's a lot of energy around your sister. This is who I feel is present here in life. And the message is very clear. I feel like it's coming from your mom, saying it's time to forgive your sister. It's time to do the work to make peace in that relationship. And I know we've talked about forgiveness work before, and I know that you're coming to the mediumship demonstration, which is going to be perfect for that. But you've got some pain in your heart that is stopping you from being fully self-expressed in love, trusting relationships, trusting, yourself to be vulnerable, trusting that you're safe to love and to be loved. And so this is what your guides want you to know. This is what your ancestors want you to know, especially your mom that's here. It's like, it's time to heal your heart and to come out of isolation, and to, and part of that is doing the work to heal your family system. Okay. And that goes for everybody watching. If you have, tense relationships, painful relationships in your family system, if there's people you don't talk to, if there's, people you feel cut off from, or you resent, or you're sort of boarded up against, this is affecting your capacity for love. Right. And so it's very important that we take the time to do some inner work and to really heal our family systems. Mediumship is a wonderful way to do that. Inner child work is also a wonderful way to do that, where we can look at some of the pains that we're carrying and learn to let them go. We can't change other people. We can't change our circumstances. We certainly can't change the past, but we can take responsibility for how we're responding to it and how we're carrying these stories in our lives that no longer serve us. Okay. So I want to say that for you, this is sort of a deeper message, maybe deeper than you were bargaining for, Rhonda, but there is a real need to forgive, especially the relationship with your sister. That comes through, like, first and foremost. Yeah. And, there's some friendships that I feel like you're going to be making. I don't know if it's somewhere where you volunteer or somewhere where you do some, it feels like some charity work. But there's some new friendships that are on the horizon for you as well. So I think that these two messages really come sort of hand in hand, doing the forgiveness work and being willing to trust and open your heart and let people into your life, comes right on the, but sort of before this, it sort of leads into this process of making new friends. Okay. Which is what's in store for you this year, is more community, more people in your life, deep and meaningful relationships, which I know that you want to create. So that's my message for you. Rhonda says, yes, there is a great deal of pain surrounding the important women in my life. Daughter, sister, mother transitioned. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes, much deeper. Felt that reading in my stomach. Okay, good. Good. I'll take that. I'll take that. I mean, we just kind of need to go for the truth. I'm very committed to leading people out of suffering, leading humans out of suffering. And, it's always nice to get the light, fluffy news about something good and, something lucky and fortunate that we're creating in our lives. But you are at the source of your experience, you know. Oh, Rhonda says, I had my first meeting for the ambassador program for my city. Good. Excellent. So this is the volunteer place that I'm picking up on. It's wonderful. So there are some potential new friendships here of people that are much more, on the same wavelength as you. They share your values. They're more in sync with you. They're more in alignment with you. So doing that healing work, again, this is for everybody, really looking at your early childhood relationships, the people in your family, some of the pain and resentment that you might still be carrying there, and learning to let that go and make peace with that so we can make room for healthier relationships in our lives. Okay. And congratulations on your first meeting with the ambassador program. I think that's beautiful. And I'm looking forward to hearing how that unfolds for you. Okay. Come back and let me know. You're so welcome, Rhonda. You're so welcome. You're welcome. All right. Hi, Steffi. Forgive me. I do so much talking. Okay. Steffi says, hi, Sabrina. Great to be here again. It's great to have you. For those of you that don't know, Steffi is going to be participating in my free online healers summit. It is a free event. I will put the link to register for that here at the end of this video. Here we go. Looking forward to the healer summit. Okay, I'm wanting to ask about a skin condition my daughter's experiencing. Thank you. Okay, good. I'll get to your question in a second. Just so everybody knows, I'm hosting a free healer summit. There's going to be 3 powerful, along with myself, there'll be 3 other very powerful facilitators joining us. My dear friend Steffi, who is a Qigong and meditation and mindfulness coach. My dear friend Ashley, who's a Reiki master, and my other dear friend Oksana, who is a quantum healer. And so I will post the link for that. You can also see it on Instagram as well if you follow me there. Okay, I'm going to answer your question now, Steffi. Yeah, I mean, okay, so along with all physical symptoms, there is an unresolved, deeper emotional issue going on here. Okay. It's interesting because I feel like it just came on suddenly, and it's, I mean, I can feel the itch of it. I can feel I can't really diagnose it. I don't know if it's eczema or like, it also feels like little bumpy red dots that are sort of persistent and not going away. There's irritation here. There's irritation on an emotional level, and that's manifesting on the surface of the skin. So there's 2 things. First of all, I want to say that there's a direct correlation between her skin condition and her relationship with her dad. Okay. So there's something that is irritating for her that she hasn't fully addressed, that she hasn't fully liberated herself from in this relationship with her father, that is causing some emotional issues. She's kind of holding on to it. It's really getting to her. Okay. And that's why it's showing up on the skin. And the other thing I want to say too is I also feel the presence of some allergy. So it can be something she's ingesting, something she's taking, that's also causing this type of inflammation. Okay. So, and I don't know if you can verify any of this, because this will be helpful to me as I keep channeling. But yeah, there's something prickly in her relationship with her dad that I would like her to really look at and, do some resentment work. We're talking about resentment tonight, apparently. So really looking at some of those irritations in her relationship with her father, and that will help clear some things out as she learns to talk about them. I feel like she's really pent up too. Like she doesn't really like to talk about her feelings or express herself with her dad. I know she talks to you, but she's not really talking to him the way she needs to. So that, I think, will help alleviate a lot of the symptoms. And what is the thing that she's ingesting? A second. I'm going to recommend a metal cleanse. Okay. So there's something metal in her system that she's not tolerating. That's what I hear when I tune into the energy. So I'm going to recommend that for her. And of course, follow up with me and let me know how that unfolds. I think that'll be really good for her to clear out her symptoms. It might be something you've already looked into, feels like this is not far away from the things that you've been researching. So I think that would be very helpful to her as well. Let me know if you have any questions about that, Steffi. And yes, you can always message me. Any confirmation here? Full moon. Yes. Okay, good. Beautiful. I'll take the next question. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, AC. AC says, hi, Sabrina. I found and spoke to a new lawyer for my immigration. Okay, good. Congratulations. But I am feeling that it's not time. It's not time to sign the contract with her. Can you help me decide if I'm on the right path? Well, I can't help you decide that because deciding is something that the mind does, right? And so if you're looking for intuitive guidance, you have to trust your body. Okay. So when you sit with the question and you ask it from a place of no attachment to the outcome. Okay. This is an exercise for everybody. Do some deep diaphragmatic breathing, big belly breaths, and just sit still and quiet with no attachments to the outcome. If the outcome didn't matter at all, then is now the right time, right? And I want you to listen to your body and really trust that. Okay. If you're feeling that it's not the right time, there's a reason for that. I want to say, because you're asking me the question, I'm trying to coach you to develop your own intuition as well. But I also want to answer you. So the reason you're asking me that question is two reasons. Number one, I feel like you're rushing. There's a little bit of panic around this immigration situation, like a little panic around it. Like I better get this going or moving and so on. There's no need to panic. Okay, panic is never the driving force behind any sound decision. So just relax and do the breathing as I mentioned it, and really trust how it feels in your body. The other thing I want to say too is, I feel like this is your person. Okay, so if you have a doubt about whether or not to work with her, I want to confirm that I feel like this is a good match for you. I always felt, I think you came before, and I think I mentioned that it was going to be a female that you're going to be working with. So there's nothing wrong with this attorney. Okay, I think that you're feeling panic around having to do this, but at the same time, scarcity around spending the money. So these two things are sort of like creating kind of an inner storm around what should I do? What shouldn't I do? And so and when we're in doubt, we do nothing. Right. So, so I feel, and if you said to her, I need another couple of weeks to think about it, she'd be totally fine with that. Okay. So I want you to take the time to really feel good about your choice, and just, you have my sort of blessing that this is a good person to work with. There's nothing to be afraid of. I think the outcome is going to be good. I don't see any issues with immigration. And, of course, I'm not an attorney, nor do I pretend to be. I don't give, legal advice or medical advice for that matter. But I want you to know that it's going to be okay. Just trust yourself and trust the process that you're in, and also trust that you're going to have the resources to be able to follow through on this process once it gets going. Okay. I hope that's helpful. Okay, good. AC says, oh, that makes sense. I love it when it makes sense. I love it when it all comes together. Those are the two things that you're sort of conflicting with. Okay. So you got to work through fear. We have to work through fear. And AC says, yes, she said it will be okay too. See, there you go. So trust the lawyer. It's going to be fine, once we take a step forward, and again, this is for everybody, when you take a step for yourself in the right direction, when you choose you and you do the things you need to do for yourself, opportunities open up for us, doors open up for us. All of a sudden, there's the money that you didn't know was there, or the opportunity that you didn't know was there, or the help or the resources or the support that you didn't know was there. Okay. So don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. Okay. Good. I hope that's helpful. Hi, Jess. Howdy from Texas. Welcome. I love having you here. I'm wondering if Spirit has any guidance around my creative career, if there's a specific step I'm missing where I find the clear path to share more art with the world. Oh, I love this question. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm honored to answer this question. All right, let's see what I can channel for you. Um, okay. So I can feel that you have some loved ones here that are sort of encouraging you. And I want to say that I can feel the presence of your grandfather. So I just want to acknowledge that he's here. And it's interesting because I can see him kind of, and I don't know if he did this when he was in life, but I can see him kind of like going, like, go, like kind of nudging you on the shoulder, and saying, like almost like motioning for you to like make more art or draw or, do the thing that is that you really want to do. And so, I want to say that what I see very clearly is you sitting down to make art. Okay. I think that there's something about that process, and it may not be what you were thinking. I was going to say, it may not be what you were thinking about, how you were going to advance your career. But I actually think it's going to be very beneficial for you to sort of take some time to go back to basics, to get out some of your art supplies and actually make physical art. I think this is the missing piece, as you say, there's something that's not connecting for you. And I think that this process of actually sitting down to make more art is going to open up some creative outlets and some inspiration. What is Jess saying? Hi, Baba. Yeah, Grandpa's here. So that's very sweet. So it's coming from him. He's saying, make art, like kind of like nudging you and like pulling you by the arm, saying, sit down and actually make more art. I want you to sit down. You've been thinking about this just as it makes sense. Okay, so I feel like you've been thinking about this for a while, like getting out your watercolors or your acrylics or your charcoal or whatever is your favorite medium. I actually think you need to paint, if this is what I see very clearly. So you sitting down and taking the time to make more art and just being in that quiet creative place where it's not digital, you're not working on a screen, you're not working for other people, you're not tuning into other people's needs or other people's trying to capture other people's expression artistically, but you're really just sitting and channeling your own artistic vision just for the fun of it. Okay. It's become so much of a job that it's taken, the joy of it has sort of dissolved. Okay. And that's what's missing is really being in that creative process of making art simply for the joy of making it. Okay. This is going to be huge for you. It's going to be so transformational to I even say, like, I would say maybe take 2 hours a week if you can, to sit down and make and be creative and make art with your hands, physical art. This is really going to open stuff up for you. You're going to start getting ideas. You're going to start, seeing things much more clearly. You'll start feeling the inspiration, and it will make your other life, your other job, your creative career much easier. Okay. And there might even be, I want to say that, there could be the potential. I see the potentiality of that if you follow that trajectory of being commissioned for pieces and having this other outlet and having this other, way of expressing yourself that also provides for you. That's fun, right? Let it be fun. Okay. Yeah, you need more playfulness in your artistic expression. Like playfulness is really key. And this is something that I've been working with as well. Just being more playful and doing the things that really feel fun and joyful for you. I also I feel like, there's a lot more responsibility in the work that you're doing. And there can be more responsibility, but I think part of you is resisting. This is an unconscious thing. I think you're resisting some of that extra responsibility, because you're just not getting your needs met. Like you're not working at a pace that actually suits your energy. Okay. So there's too much. Either you need to do more delegating, more you know, sort of overseeing things and being less in the minutia, and then making more time to be in this creative, playful process. Okay. And I think that that's really going to open things up for you, and it's going to give you more authority, more confidence in what you're doing, and you'll feel less like you're scrambling, less like you're trying to catch up and stay on top of things. But I want you to be embodied in the work that you do. So it's got to come from inside you, for you, before you can offer it to other people. Okay. So this is my message for you tonight. I hope that's helpful. Thank you for stopping by. Good. Hi, Miss McKaya. Welcome back. Miss McKaya says, a few days ago, I had a dream. Okay, good. I love interpreting dreams. My late boyfriend, John, came to my dream, and I saw him wearing a blue shirt and khaki shorts. Was it him that came to visit me? Well, I mean, if you saw him, then he came to visit you. Do you want to know why he came to visit you? Perhaps that's your question. Let me see here. The first thing I want to say is that, first of all, this man, I feel like he died young. And I feel like this person, I feel like he sort of, he hurt you in the relationship, and is feeling remorseful. I almost feel like he wants to show up with an apology, like why he came to visit me. Okay, so this is what I thought you meant. This is what I'm seeing. So I feel like he hurt you in the relationship, and I feel like he wants to come forward, and he wants you to know that you're worthy of love. He wants you to know that, he's sorry that he didn't express that, or didn't tell you that, or didn't say more things, or do more things. Like it's kind of like he's asking for forgiveness. Okay. And he's also here to remind you that, there's another message here too that's kind of coming in on the heels of what I'm saying. He did hurt me. Yeah, I feel that. So he's sorry. I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying this on his behalf. He's sorry for everything that he put you through, that he didn't tell you enough, that he didn't, show you how worthy you were of love. He didn't treat you right, essentially, is what he's saying. And, this is not a man of many words. So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to be eloquent on his behalf. And, the other thing I want to say too, he's also saying, this is the other thing that's coming through is it's almost like he doesn't want you to forget where you came from, or like, he doesn't want you to forget the times when you were together, like that period of your life. There's something about that period of your life in this relationship that's significant for what you're going through now. So that perhaps it has to do with a home, creating a home, being at home, feeling at home in your environment. He's coming through to tell you that, that it's going to be okay. That's what I hear him saying. It's going to be okay. I know that I'm going to let you fill in the gaps of what that message means for you. But he is, very sorry for what he did to you, and feels very remorseful about the way he treated you. And and he's, he didn't have the words at the time, but he has the words now to tell you that he cared about you very deeply, and your relationship was very meaningful to him, and he's still with you. Okay. And there's, again, something about not forgetting where you come from. So I'm going to leave you with that and let you sort of decipher what that means in terms of whatever you're processing in your life right now. And if you have the opportunity, Miss McKaya, what Miss McKay is saying, we had a good and bad experiences, but he died with secrets that I found out after he died. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. He wants you to remember the good, that period of your life, in the time of your relationship, where you came from. He wants you to remember that. And, he regrets badly how he left things, and, that you had to go through that shock afterwards. So, if you are available on March 1st, Miss McKay, I highly recommend. You've got a lot of people in the spirit realm that come through every time we connect. So I highly recommend you register for the mediumship demonstration on March 1st at 10 a.m. Pacific. It'd be my honor to meet you, to see you, to interact with you, and to offer these messages with more depth and clarity. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. Good. Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda says, I received a message today saying energy is a teacher. Pay attention and be mindful. It sure is. What a great thing to share. Thank you so much, Rhonda. It is a teacher. And Miss McKay says, I'm still working on forgiveness. Good. That's what the workshop's about on March 1st. You're welcome. That workshop is about forgiving the people who have wronged you during your human life, that are crossed over, and you want to get complete with them. You want to let it go. You want that freedom for yourself, so that you can have peace. And perhaps you need to hear something. It's very powerful. I can't tell you. I see it over and over and over again in my sessions, and I've experienced it, of course, myself directly. When we hear the thing that we've been longing to hear for so many years, it can be so healing. Okay, so I encourage you to join us on March 1st, and thank you. Steffi says, happy milestone birthday. Lots of love in the pictures. Oh, thank you so much, Steffi. Thank you. And let me know if those messages for your daughter resonated for you. If you don't want to share here, you can share with me offline. Thank you so much. Steffi says, yes, the summit will be awesome. Thank you for your work on bringing it together. Appreciate your insights, input again. Yes, acne, irritation on her face, and expectation on her future. Yeah, so those are the bumps. Okay, good. Metal cleanse. That's what I'm really feeling. And let's talk about the relationship with that as well. Okay, because there's a lot of inflammation there. Good. Hi, Tracy Joe. Oh my goodness. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Tracy Joe says, how can I access more balance while the U.S. seems to be in turmoil? Okay, good. I love, love, love this question. So one of the things that I talk about week after week is developing equanimity. And this is our superpower as humans, is that our ability to stay grounded and centered and calm, regardless of what's happening around us. Okay, so the important thing is to detach from your environment and to really go inward. Especially, I'm going to tune into your energy specifically, Tracy, just because you're here and you're asking the question. So I can feel there's a lot of grief and suffering. I know that you're a very empathic person, so I can feel like there's a lot of grief and concern about the future, and perhaps feeling the energy of your environment and wanting to help others and so on, and just kind of feeling like your energy is leaking, right? And this can create a lot of inner chaos. And so I want to say to you to sort of that boundaries is the word I'm hearing first and foremost. So really creating more boundaries. I know that you're a natural caretaker. I feel like you're doing a lot more of that, maybe a lot more of that than your nervous system can handle right now. So really just setting those boundaries and making sure that you have time alone. It's very important for you, Tracy Joe, as I tune into your energy, for you to have time in solitude, like really just being in your own energy and developing equanimity. Equanimity is the ability to be with whatever is happening, or whatever is not happening, and being okay with it. It's okay if it is, and it's okay if it's not. Okay, so developing equanimity. There is a meditation style called Vipassana, which is a beautiful meditation style that allows us to develop equanimity. And it's basically focusing on observing the sensations of the body with no attachment and no aversion. We don't go towards the sensations or away from the sensations. You get the picture, right? So we just want to be able to be in quiet observation of what's happening without the need to change it. And this will develop that muscle for you that you need to anchor yourself and to unplug from what's happening around you. Setting some good energetic boundaries is key right now. Like I said, it feels like you're doing more caretaking than you need to, and just making sure that you have enough time alone to be in your own energy and to replenish. I know that you have a spiritual practice, so I want you to, I know that you're taking care of yourself in that way, and there is a need for more solitude. Okay, there's a need for more solitude and feeling like, you have the power to affect your environment, your circumstances, your reality, regardless of what's happening on a government level, on a, societal level, on a community level. We are here to hold the frequency that all is well, and you are one of those people. So I want you to really just remember that. Remember to be balanced and grounded and anchored in your inner power, and remember that it comes from inside of you. That peace and that calm and that balance comes from within. Again, saying no to some things and setting more boundaries is very helpful. And of course, developing equanimity, which is my favorite word in the English language, is key to being able to live anywhere under any circumstances and not having your peace be disrupted. Okay, that's my message for you. I'm sending you a big hug. Thank you for stopping by. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer says, do my guides have any messages for me? Thank you. Let's see. I feel like it's good things are coming. So there's good news. I feel like a new thing is opened up for you that wasn't there before. I know that you've been sort of looking for, I think we've talked before about you looking for a house or something, or looking for a new situation. And I feel like there's a new possibility that's opened up for you that wasn't there before. And if your guides want to say to you that, yeah, it has something to do with another female. So guides want to say to you that if you've been asking whether or not you can trust this person, the answer is yes. Okay. You can trust this person. You can trust the advice this person is giving you. You can trust that they have your best interest at heart, that they're well-meaning. Okay. I feel like maybe you've taken my advice a little bit and you've sort of opened yourself up to community and leaning into your friends and leaning into your environment a little bit more. I feel like this female has shown up somehow, and this is a good thing. It's something that you can trust, and it's a connection that's going to be useful and provide some healing, especially in the dynamic with the feminine. Okay. So yes to that. I feel like you haven't fully landed yet, though, in your new space. So that's still something that is unfolding. So I want you to just, again, surrender. In fact, this relationship could be, or this new connection, whatever it is, could be something that allows for more information, more to be revealed in this particular yes, Jennifer says, yes, a friend told me about a possible house, then I broke my ankle Sunday. Okay, so this possibility is here. This friend is accurate. She's good. She is helpful. I'm sorry about your ankle. That's a bummer. I broke my ankle once upon a time, and it was, yeah, it's definitely an adjustment. And it's also, kind of, I said at the beginning of the live tonight about how it's all about slowing down, not trying to hurry up and solve problems, right? So what a better way to slow down than to have a broken ankle and to really just kind of nurture yourself and take care of yourself, and realize that right now it's okay not to know what's going to happen next, to just really be in the process of what's unfolding for you and trust that it's coming to you. And I think I've said this to you before. If I haven't, it's coming through again. It's coming through now. Really just be in the visualization of the place that you want to be in, of how you see your life unfold, and, the kind of experiences you want to have, how you want to feel every day, and this allow things to come to you. Okay. So the broken ankle is not an accident. It's just you kind of taking a step back, sitting down, and learning to lean in. Jennifer says, learning this is about gratitude and leaning on community. That you took the words right out of my mouth as I was about to say them. Learning to lean into community, especially now you have a broken ankle, right? So you need people to bring you food, or to help, or to help you walk places or get to places. I mean, this is your life lesson. I know that you're a very tough person and you're a survivor, and you're part of your imprinting is what I feel is I'm channeling for you, is like, I don't need it. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I got this. And it's time to give up that story. Okay. So that you can lean into your community, lean into your friends, let yourself be loved. Okay. There is so much more goodness available to you when you open your heart to receiving. All right. So this is the major lesson right now. The house is going to work out. I like this person that's offering this advice to you. And what do you say? Jennifer says that is very accurate. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. So, and I feel too that you have the capacity to access a lot of intuition as well. I mean, we all do. I read so many people every week that sometimes I repeat myself. So I apologize, but I really feel like you need to spend some time really practicing cultivating your intuitive gifts. Okay. This is very important for you. I want to say that to you as well. And guess what? The more we open ourselves up to receiving, the more intuitive we become, the more clear the messages. So it's all connected. Okay. So really open your heart and, and trust that you have people that care about you. Okay. That's going to be very healing for you. Good. Thank you for stopping by. My goodness. What time is it? All right, here we go. I think that is all the questions that we have. Lacey, do we have any more questions? Oh, hi, Shiloh. Okay, we'll take one more. Shiloh says, "Hi, Sabrina. I invited my niece I think you mean for the March 1st event. However, I'm no longer sensing that is beneficial. Her dad was my brother. I had shared your previous message you gave, but sensing there is no respect." Interesting. Well, I mean, the first thing I want to say to you is if you don't feel safe sharing this type of information, or if you don't feel like, like it's being well received, then here's what I want to say to you. Okay. I want you to share how you're feeling with her directly. Okay. I think that mediumship work, I think the March 1st event for anybody who's struggling with forgiveness and has people in the spirit realm is going to be beneficial. So I just want to say that. Again, sometimes, it feels like this niece of yours is sort of resistant to the idea that she has some work to do, or doesn't really want to look at that part of her life, or, we just keep ourselves safe, right? This is what the ego does, is I don't want to go there. I don't want to feel my feelings. I just want to keep myself safe. I don't need that. So there's a pushback and resistance, and it might trigger some anger, right? And she might be projecting it onto you, which is what I feel is happening. So here's what I want to say, Shiloh. You planted a seed. You made a recommendation from your heart. It was sincere, and that's it. You've done enough. You've done your part, and now we can't insist that people do work or healing work, or go take care of themselves, or do something that we think is beneficial for them. All we can do is plant a seed. We can, as what the expression is, you can sort of bring a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. So you've done that, and sort of, you can wash your hands of it now. You've done your part. Okay. I do think it would be beneficial for her, but I just think she's pushing back because she's in pain, and she might be resisting some things, and she might not even fully believe, in this work, which is okay too. Everybody comes to it when they're ready. So I would, focus on, I did this meditation today. I'll just share a little story with you. I taught metta meditation in my daughter's school today. My daughter's 8. And I taught this metta meditation is a loving kindness meditation. Basically, what that is we give ourselves love. So may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be free. We meet ourselves with compassion and love, and then we send that love out to the people around us. So the people that we care about, your niece, for example, our environment, our families, our communities, the world. And then we extend it out to the people that we're struggling with, the people that we have a hard time loving. Okay. So I want you to just visualize sending metta out to your niece, and just offering loving kindness, just not even saying it to her, but just visualizing it and sending that loving, compassionate energy out. She will feel it. Her soul will feel it. Her higher self will feel it. Even if in human form, she's not fully ready to receive it. Okay, so I want you to trust your heart and trust your intentions. Do the metta meditation where you can actually Google it. It's just loving kindness meditation where you're sending it out into the world. And you'll find that as you're cultivating love within yourself, you start emanating that, you start being more magnetic. And sometimes the things that you offer, the things that you suggest, people will be more receptive to. Okay. But this isn't your fault. This is just where she's at. And I would leave it for now. Okay, and just focus on your own process. Okay, Shiloh, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to stop. It's 6 o'clock, and I don't know where the time goes, but I love spending this hour with you all. Thank you so much for those of you that come week after week. I really appreciate you so much. For those of you that got your questions answered, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for validating those of you that stayed on long enough to do that. If you didn't get your question answered, you can come back next week at 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm here every Wednesday. You can also book a reading with me if you want an hour of my undivided attention. I'm happy to go deeper with you in a one-on-one space and offer personalized channeling and life guidance for wherever you are in your life and the messages that you need to hear. I also do mediumship readings for those of you that are wanting to connect with your loved ones. It's my honor to do that work. Again, we have the demonstration on March 1st, which is a group class for those of you that want to participate in that as well. And we have the Healer Summit coming up. So I will put the link for that at the end of this video. Once I share it on YouTube, I'll pin it to the top so that you can register for that. That's a free event. If you want to come and learn from us and find out what it takes to facilitate, to hold this kind of space, to develop your gifts, anybody can do it. If you have a calling to be of service, to be a light and a guide for others, it is a very important calling. It's one that I consider a privilege to serve and to embody in this human life. And so I'm always excited to help train others and serve others in this way who want to learn how to do this work and who want to do it professionally. Okay, so if that's you, come and join us at the Healer Summit. Again, I'll put the link at the end. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. I hope this was helpful to all of you. I love you so much, and I'll see you next week. Good night.